Hello and a warm welcome to Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu wants Nigerians to be patient with the APC-led federal government to reap the dividends of democracy. Kalu said this while applauding President Bola Tinubu for signing the Southeast Development Commission bill into law, thereby approving the creation of the commission. Thanking Nigerians for supporting the bill sponsored by lawmakers from the Southeast region, the Deputy Speaker expressed optimism that the Southeast Development Commission will address ecological and developmental challenges in the region. He encourages Nigerians to keep faith in the ability of the Tinubu administration to meet their yearnings and aspirations through strategic legislations and policies. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives Committee on the Northeast Development Commission has inspected intervention projects by the Northeast Development Commission in Bauchi. The committee says it will ensure more legislations that will strengthen the ongoing humanitarian services by the federal government under the commission. Awal Abdullahi reports that the projects include provision of health facilities at the Abuja Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital,
construction of 3 major bridges on the road linking Bauchi-Gombe states and the 53-kilometer Kirfi-Gombe were among the ongoing intervention projects inspected by the House Committee. The committee members expressed satisfaction with the quality of work done and promised their legislative support for the Commission to execute more developmental projects.
I will urge the MD and the management team of NADC to collaborate with the House to look for more funding outside the government revenue that is coming. We have to think outside the box to go and look for more funding from the United Nations and other agencies of government to continue this good work that they are doing.
The Emergency Medicine and Ophthalmology Complex at the Abuja Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, as well as the NEDC Mega School construction, form parts of other projects inspected by the committee.
I can say that this project is almost 80% completed, and by the grace of God, in the next few months, probably 3 months from now, we will be able to hand over this project to the state government. And we are going to put in place certain strategy and how this project will be maintained, not only here, all across Northeast. So there may be some kind of an MOU between us and the state government. If there is need for us to come again to intervene, we should do that.
The committee chairman also calls on the federal government on the need to strengthen the activities of NEDC, which are aimed at bringing back the socio-economy of the entire Northeast region ravaged by the insurgency. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, NTA.
The hydrocarbon pollution remediation project, HYPREP, says it is conducting adequate assessments with NOSDRA and other industry regulators to ensure that the once polluted Ogoni land reverts to its natural state as a fertile and safe soil before returning it to the community. HYPREP management, led by the project coordinator, Professor Neni Barini Zabi, gave the assurance when the team had an interface with the people of Ogale Eleme community at King Apollo's Choose Palace. Robinson Deraitede has the details.
With over 130 projects currently ongoing, HYPREP says the Ogoni cleanup project is not only rekindling hope for restored soil, but easing the life of Ogoni people, particularly for the youths who have been engaged in different capacities. Project coordinator Professor Nini Zabe notes that with effective supervision by HYPREP and other industry regulators, there is a significant progress in other thematic areas of Center of Excellence for Environmental Restoration, shoreline remediation, and mangrove restoration. Others are potable water, Ogoni specialist and cottage hospitals, and livelihood programs. He assured the people that disagreements over land and compensations will be addressed amicably.
What we are doing is sustainable cleanup. That's why we are very intentional about preventing pollution. We are very intentional about campaigning against any act of sabotage for personal gains.
King Apollos Chu, on his part, commended President Bola Tinubu for the confidence reposed on Professor Nini Barinesabe and urged IPREP to address concerns arising from excavation of farmlands for restoration work in Ogali community.
If federal government want to suffer anybody in this project, they come to give good life to the community. So I would really want the IPREP and the coordinator, you may import some other topsoil if you can find around. So if this is well excavated, you have to bring some imported soil to top it. They mix it up so that naturally you have a natural vegetation.
IPREP management also condoled the king over the recent death of his wife. Robinson Tarateide, NTA News.
The federal government says it is ready to collaborate with investors to support its plan for improved power supply in the country by using local materials for production. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu disclosed this during an evaluation and facility tour in Ogun State. Anthony Gandonu has more.
By the managing director on arrival at the factory, the minister went into a meeting with the management of the company. The managing director of the company, Mr. Guo, through an interpreter while addressing the minister, said the company focused on production of both high and low voltage porcelain insulators and metal fittings. The products include suspension insulator, anti-pollution insulator, among others, through the use of local raw materials. The team thereafter embarked on a facility tour to assess and evaluate production capacity and quality of the company, where varieties of electrical porcelain insulators of overhead distribution and transmission lines were produced and packaged.
We are expecting the more cooperation between us, and we can provide high quality and standards products to Nigerian people.
Happy that this will go a long way to help us, to enable us to tap into the plan of the World Bank and the African Development Bank to electrify about 300 million Africans, spending about $30 billion over the next 5 years. And given the advantage of our population, we believe that nothing less than 20-25% of this will be spent in Nigeria.
He reiterates federal government's commitment to support the company's initiative. In Ijebu-Ode, Anthony Gandonu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government is seeking active participation of the subnationals in line with the provision of Electricity Act 2023 to harness renewable energy sources in their domains in order for Nigeria to generate 9,000 megawatts from the renewables. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu says with global conversation for countries to reduce emission and achieve net zero by 2060, governments at all levels must develop political will and implement renewable energy policies that will attract investment in the subsector. The Electricity Act 2023 stakeholders say has unlocked opportunities in the power sector for public-private partnership and competitiveness, which Nigeria should explore through renewable energy sources and achieve availability and affordability of electricity.
That we are targeting. It goes beyond mini or microgrids. We need to start thinking big. Huge embedded solar projects in our subnationals. Huge solar projects that is nationally connected to the grid. This is the only way you can start feeling the real impact of renewable energy.
Local solutions at state level are very important. I think also I would like to say that the initiative to accelerate renewables in Nigeria is very much in alignment with the net zero aspiration of our great country. The overarching goal is the provision of service to Nigeria and providing a conducive environment for business to thrive and job creation for our teeming youth. The thrust of power sector reform in Nigeria, and in particular at NERC, is the development of an efficient electricity market and the establishment of a regulatory framework that promotes private investments.
The rainy season has brought a sense of renewed hope to farmers in Kebbi State. However, the journey to a bountiful harvest is fraught with obstacles. In this report, Usman Abdullahi Shehu examines the challenges and the way forward.
The geographical location of Kebbi State in the northwest of Nigeria exposes to late rainfalls. With about 2 weeks of steady rainfalls, farmers in Kebbi State are intensifying effort to capitalize on the agricultural advantages of the season despite numerous challenges. Their efforts are being hindered by devastating effect of climate change, such as frequent droughts, floods, and unpredictable weather patterns, which significantly impact crop yields and livestock production. Additional challenges flowing farmers in Kebbi State include limited access to credit, inadequate infrastructure such as poor roads and lack of storage facilities, as well as pest and diseases outbreaks.
Our major challenge is fertilizer because it is scarce and expensive, considering the present high cost of living. We are hoping to get the subsidized and free government fertilizer to reduce the cost of production.
Nevertheless, hope is on the horizon as both federal and state governments are implementing initiatives to enhance agriculture and alleviate food shortage affecting the nation.
Purchase of fertilizer worth 3.4 billion naira and distributed free of charge to our farmers, geared towards reducing the cost of farming.
The villages that this road is leading to is one of the major rice producing areas in Kebbi State.
These challenges not only affect farmers' productivity and income, but also their overall well-being, making it crucial to address them to ensure food security and sustainable agricultural development in the state. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
We now join Usman Abdullahi Shehu in Birnin Kebbi, who will be telling us more about efforts to boost food production in Kebbi State. Hello, Usman, please shed more light on efforts, to a bumper harvest during the next harvesting season, and of course the challenges mentioned in the report we just saw. I'm afraid we lost Usman there. I hope to get back. Okay. Usman is back. So, Usman, what more
effort is being carried out by both the federal and state government in terms of addressing some of the challenges that has to do with the inputs, that's farm inputs. For instance, the federal government recently launched the NG Cares program, where 15,000 farmers are expected to benefit from distribution of fertilizer free of charge. Also, there is another special special program organized by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the state government and international donor agencies, where 20,000 farmers benefit from distribution of 3 bags of fertilizer each free of charge, plus other farm inputs. Also, there is a program called RAMP, which is Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project, which is expected, the state is expected to benefit from 500 kilometers of road that will link mostly rural agro communities to the market. And then the state government recently launched free fertilizer distribution, which about 48,000 farmers are expected to benefit. So on and so forth. That's how it goes. But with me here is Abdurrahman Abubakar, who is an agricultural expert that will shed more light on some of the challenges, that's the natural challenges.
Thank you, Malam Usman, for giving me this opportunity to share my insights concerning agricultural problems. You see, here in Nigeria, to the national level, first, one of the challenges that farmers that affects the agricultural sector, we have the insecurity. Insecurity is one of the challenges that really affects productivity in terms of agriculture drastically. Second challenge that we have is climate change. We have seen so many changes in our climate, such as flooding, such as drought, and some other adverse effect of climatic consequences. So these are some of the challenges. And I think one of the most important to mention is the challenge of mindset and education. You see many young Nigerians, most especially in the northern part of Nigeria, you see they are not finding agriculture attractive. So this is one of the challenges that I think the agricultural sector is really facing.
Okay, so Alam Abdurrahman, can you shed more light on the way forward?
Yeah, I think the way forward is that the government of Nigeria and Kebbi State should actually.
Okay, we're sorry about the poor quality from Brendan Kebbi there. And thank you very much indeed, Usman. Now, Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibril, has expressed gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for his assent to the bill establishing the Northwest Development Commission. Briefing the Senate press corps on the development, Senator Barau, who is also the sponsor of the bill, now an act of the National Assembly, said it will further improve development drive across the 7 states in the Northwest geopolitical zone following the devastation to infrastructure and livelihoods by bandits and kidnappers.
The establishment of this commission will have a means of rebuilding this region and enhancing the life and livelihood of the people of the region. It's a good thing that the president has done for us. He has shown that he loves the people of the zone and indeed the entire people of this country, because whatever is done for any region is done for the entire people of Nigeria, because we are all connected as Nigerians. It shows that the president has a lot in stock for the development of this country.
To expand the food sufficiency drive in Nigeria and make it sustainable, initiatives in the agricultural sector must be set up to encourage children to become young farmers. This is the view expressed by Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, when she received management team from the National Agricultural Development Fund, who were in her office to explore areas of collaboration. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
Impressed by our several initiatives and incentives to recruit more hands, particularly women and youths, into the agricultural sector, the management team of the National Agricultural Development Fund, NADFund, is again seeking partnership with Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, on how to expand the sector. Outlining possible areas of collaboration, Executive Secretary of NADFund, Mohammed Ibrahim, says the ongoing Every Home a Garden competition aligns with the agency's 5-year strategic roadmap, hence the plan to promote it, especially at the subnational level.
We have looked at this initiative and we are proposing to expand the shortlisted winners to 1 per state, including the FCT, from our own end. This would give us 37 winners. These 37 state winners, we would want to see if we can support by giving them capacity building and take them through a retreat, sort of a mentorship retreat to expand and scale what they have.
Welcoming the proposed collaboration, the First Lady called on the agency to devote its resources towards bringing children on board the Smart Gardening program.
We have a lot to show the young children, and this is the time to do it, because once the children are able to get to it, it's very easy to bring it home. So I would really want partnership there. Your organization can do so much to train them.
She called on state government to embrace the Young Farmers Club and promote it in schools. In a short while, the Young Farmers Club will be launched by Nigeria's First Lady. Now, when that is done, it will join other initiatives already launched by her to offer incentives and draw more Nigerians into farming. In the State House, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
In the meantime, First Lady Olurebi Tinubu felicitates with wife of the Vice President, Hajia Nana Shettima, on her birthday. In a statement, she prays that this special day be filled with joy, laughter, and all the love she deserves. The First Lady commends her grace, strength, and kindness, saying that they are appreciated. She prays that Hajia celebrates many more years in peace, joy, and good health. After many years of wearing the toga of invisibility, the overall head of a Lagos-based drug cartel, a 57-year-old man popularly known as Temo, has been arrested by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) at his enclave. In the last 2 years, the NDLEA had intercepted large consignments of illicit drugs worth billions of naira, owned by Temo, who remained largely evasive, while a few encounters with him and his armed gangs in his Mushin enclave had resulted in gunfights. However, concerted effort to get him paid off on Monday, 22nd of this month, when NDLEA surveillance team on his trail tracked and pinned him down at Igbarere Street, Mushin. His attempt to escape by mobilizing hoodlums to engage and distract the operatives, however, failed, after which he was whisked away. In his reaction to the arrest of Temo, Chairman Chief Executive Officer NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, commended the officers and men of the Lagos Command and urged them to intensify the hits on all drug cartels wherever they are located. And it's now time to go over to our Lagos Network Center for more reports on Nationwide. And Jennifer is our guide. Hello, Jennifer. Good to see you. On Nationwide.
Wow. Now, the desire of the Tinubu-led administration to create more employment opportunities through the blue economy can only be realized by ensuring adequate training and orientation for youth to explore the potential in the maritime sector. Joel Pupola reports that mariners and other key players in the blue economy are optimistic that Nigeria can be at par with the rest of the world when more seafarers emerge.
Resources available in the ocean is more than enough to sustain world economies, and Nigeria, being a littoral state, is at a vantage position to have a fair share of the potential inherent in the blue economy. While the prospect of the blue economy and the resources the nation can harness has never been in doubt, Nigeria still has a lot of mileage to cover in terms of the capacity of its workforce, and the only way, according to experts, is to boost human capacity.
The job is a global job. It's an international work. And Nigeria is blessed being an English-speaking country. And the language of the sea is English. Because God has blessed this country. So what are the Philippines? What are they gaining? What are they gaining? It's because of the having seafarers exported to other countries of the world. Nigeria should be able to do the same.
There is a law that says you must have certain certification before you can step on board the ship for safety, for security reasons. And that law is what we are being, that mandate is what we are trying to meet. When they go through and they are certified, they can now board ship if the opportunity arises.
The youths that are supposed to be the enabler of the maritime industry are oblivious of the gains of the sector, and stakeholders believe that once they are given the requisite training, the nation can attain the International Maritime Organization standard. Over the next 5 to 10 years, experts anticipate a major paradigm shift that will reposition Nigeria as a key player in the blue economy. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
And to education, for polytechnics in Nigeria to become first-choice tertiary institutions, there is need to upgrade them to degree-awarding institutions in specialized areas. Joel Pukbola reports that experts say this will end the age-long HND BSc dichotomy and secure the future of polytechnic education.
Polytechnics are institutions established to produce professionals in technical, technological, and vocational education that will address national manpower needs. But for many Nigerians, university education is usually the first choice, with many students opting for polytechnics after failing to secure admission to the university. This dichotomy, polytechnic lecturers say, has become a nagging issue in Nigeria and does not augur well for the future of polytechnic education.
What we want, what can be done to make the polytechnic first choice is, one, allow the polytechnic to mount Bachelor of Technology degree. Now, when we say Bachelor of Technology degree, we are not talking about the type of Bachelor of Technology degree that is mounted in Federal University of Technology, but BTech in specialized areas. For example, if you run a BTech in artificial intelligence,
the Senate needs to approve. They need to speed work on the bills on National Polytechnic Commission. We need a commission. When we have a commission, our activity will be regulated.
Apart from upgrading the polytechnics in the areas of facilities, awarding degrees in specialized courses that are technical-oriented will deepen technological education through curricular enhancement and retain the widening pool of qualified manpower, which will in turn attract funding and stop the dichotomy. In Lagos, Joel Mukbola, NTA News.
That's it from Lagos. Nationwide will continue with Abubakar Musa in Maiduguri after the break.
The Federal Ministry of Works has commenced work on the 3-kilometer field sections of the Ukugbi and Mbiama axis of the East-West Road in Rivers State. The Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, was on a fact-finding visit to the area where he identified climate change as a major problem that impacted the road, and with the knowledge that the contractor has adopted a new strategy to achieve results. Timini Pre-Ohia reports.
The deplorable condition of the East-West Road that connects the southern states of Nigeria, making travels between Rivers to Bayelsa and Delta states hard and stressful. There seems to be a sigh of relief and hope as the Minister of Works has assured that President Bola Tinubu is committed to completing the East-West Road project through the provision of long-lasting infrastructure.
We are not happy with the performances of 3 contractors, and we've terminated their contracts. And we have redesigned the project. Instead of building 2 carriageways at the same time, we are building the existing carriageway, expanding it to 12 meters of 3 lanes carriageway, which will be faster for us, which will also be cheaper. And when we have finished this existing carriageway, improving it on reinforced concrete.
He further disclosed that the federal government has introduced a more formidable measure of construction to end pavement failures and years of infrastructural neglect on the East-West Road. Timinupri, Ohia, NTA News.
Let's now go over to our Ibadan Network Center for more reports on Nationwide.
Informer and to welcome to Ibadan. Access to HIV treatment and end to stigmatization of sufferers are pivotal to eliminating the viral disease by the year 2030, as projected by UNAIDS. This is the take of a professor of hematology and transfusion medicine, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, Akomu Sulaiman, at a lecture in Ibadan. Kendo Molosho completes the report.
HIV is a major global public health challenge, with Nigeria currently ranking 4th in the world with the HIV disease burden. Statistics puts the figure of people living with HIV/AIDS at an estimated 1.8 million, of which 107,112 are new infections. The lecture therefore focused on the march towards ending the HIV epidemic, resistant mutation, According to the hematologist, Professor Akamu Sulaiman, is the characteristics of the HIV virus preventing goals of therapy, cure agenda through therapeutic vaccines and viral eradication technologies in a submission are ways of eliminating the viral infection.
We are taking sufficient drugs that are easy to take, that are tolerable, and the dosing schedule is simple and is able to achieve the goal of therapy.
The lecture featured the presentation of grants for research by the foundation.
Once it is detected, that individual starts to take antiretroviral drug. If this individual continues to take it, it will get to a point where the virus will no longer be detected.
To prevent people contacting HIV, what should they do? What sort of things? I think there should be a lot of emphasis on that because people do not know most of these things that have been shared with us today.
The Endowment Foundation was established with the aim of training next generation of researchers while developing their capacity for cutting-edge research to address challenges of current and emerging epidemic-prone infectious diseases of public health importance. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
Key players in the education sector have met in Ilorin to chart a way forward towards achieving improvement in youth and adult literacy in Kwara State, as well as addressing the problem of out-of-school in children in the state. Ahmad Fulani's report is here presented.
Education, they say, is the bedrock of the nation, without which there cannot be meaningful development. While both children and youths are receiving formal education in the schools, adults are not also left out, as they undergo non-formal education and vocational skills at the instance of the Kwara State Agency for Mass Education. The guest speaker, Dr. Kayode Sadiq Tijani of the Department of Adult and Primary Education, who identified poverty, religious and cultural factors as some of the reasons why children drop out of school, emphasized the need for proper intervention by governments and key players to addressing the challenges.
If there is adequate funding for this agency for mass education, I think the story will be different.
The executive director of the agency, Saka Yusuf, highlighted the importance of the agency and its programs, which include addressing the problem of out-of-school children in Kwara State.
After this stakeholders meeting, we would sensitize our people in each of the local governments.
If any of our learners, if they learn this trade, at the end of the day, if they graduate, they'll be able to practice on their own.
Alima Suleiman was an enrollee of adult education and vocational skills in 2019, who after 2 years of training has now established a fashion design center.
Then I got admission into university. Then I took my machine along with me, which I started sewing for my friends. And through that, I'm able to get some amount of money to finance myself during the school.
The current set of trainees are learning fashion designing as vocation, while some are in adult formal classes.
That does it from Ibadan. Ifeoma, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Kemi. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, has interfaced with some ministers with the aim of coming up with solutions to a myriad of socio-economic challenges the country is currently facing, especially to avert the national protest being proposed by some Nigerians. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, disclosed some of the issues under discussion at a closed-door meeting that lasted some hours.
Those that are agitating or are asking for protests are Nigerians. They are our brothers, they are our sisters. They are all Nigerians, and those also in position of authority, the ministers, the president, and everybody are all Nigerians. So this is a family matter. This is a Nigerian family issue, and all of us are looking at this issue very well. And we do hope that peace will prevail at the end of the day. Engagements have been ongoing. The president has met several with all key stakeholders. I have also been meeting with key holders. Other government functionaries are meeting with other key stakeholders. The engagement is going to continue in the interest of Nigeria. At the end of the day, Nigeria is going to be better for it.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Jamila Bayo Ibrahim, has also added her voice, urging Nigerians to shelve the proposed protests.
We're going to be opening the portal for young people to gain access to the funds, and this has actually been in the works for a while, because the funds were approved since March of this year. But because we want to ensure that we learn from the mistakes of the past and ensure that we have a seamless process of disbursement to the right people who need these interventions.
Meanwhile, concerned Nigerian Democrats on the platform of conference of the Nigerian Forum for the Sustenance of Democracy has described the proposed planned nationwide protest as a calculated attempt to plunge the country into an unrecoverable damage. The group admits that the country is passing through difficult times, but advises Nigerians to exercise caution, referencing some sad developments across neighboring African countries and the world as ugly testimonies.
History reminds us of the risks involved when hijacking such movement by those seeking to sow chaos and discord. We must recognize that any disruption of our laws and order will only worsen our already challenging economic situation.
We as Nigerians have decided to ensure that whatsoever some certain individuals are trying to do to pull down the nation, we are not part of it.
I call all the youth in the North Central region, Nigeria as a whole, to please to resist themselves from this protest.
The conference of the Nigerian Forum for the Sustenance of Democracy appeals to community and opinion leaders to preach peace and promote dialogue amongst Nigerians for national development and social cohesion. Similarly, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, has appealed to Nigerians to bear the current economic challenges and restrain from the proposed planned nationwide protest. The monarch was speaking during a media session with the NTA, where he appreciated the patience of Nigerians and efforts of the federal government to find lasting solutions to some of the problems bedeviling the country.
It is important for us to know that it is very easy to destroy, but it is more challenging to build. Let us give a very strong and formidable support to the government with what they're trying to do to turn things around. And everybody as a citizen, they have a right of freedom of expression and the power in their hand to vote. Even the current president affirmed that the power belongs to the people. If you don't like any leader, you go to the polls and vote the leader out. Let us use this approach of what we have and believe in the system of this country, other than destroying things for ourselves as a nation. We are better together and stronger together than stronger individually as a nation.
The Oni condemned the protest in its entirety, owing to the growing negative influence on the economies of nations that embrace the action as a way of expressing differences and discomfort instead of dialogue. And our Enugu Network Center is our next stop on Nationwide, and Comfort is our guide. Hello, Comfort.
And welcome to Enugu Network Center. The construction of the Eke Umumba Afro-Market Road, which holds major economic importance to the people of Ubagu, Ugwaji, Okunano, Enugu South local government area, has been flagged off. The work, which is a constituency project of the member representing Enugu North Federal Constituency, Sam Atu, has been described by stakeholders in the community as a record breaker. Susan Eze has details of the report.
An earth road, never been tarred, made bumpy by erosion, the Keumba Afo Road connects two rural markets in Ugwaje, a predominantly farming community. The economic potentials in this project brings overwhelming joy to the people.
I'm feeling happy.
For the stakeholders in the community, getting a road project from their federal representative as a constituency project is the first of its kind in decades.
And for the past 25 years,
This is the day we are seeing the result of representation.
With projects such as provision of solar lights, scholarships, skill acquisition trainings, and now road construction in his kitty of constituency projects, the member representing Enugu North and South Federal Constituency, Representative Sam Chimobi Ato, says he is committed to fulfilling his campaign promises. True democracy, he says, is about quality governance.
We want a project that will touch the lives of the people, that they will feel that yes, you have given them what they need. Farmers, after going to their farm, they have a road to come to the market, so that the end users will come and buy it.
The contractor assures of quality service delivery.
The duration of the contract is 14 weeks maximum. We'll give the best.
The 1 kilometer road project is the phase 1 of the project, designed in 3 phases. According to the representative, this would be replicated in other communities within the federal constituency. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
The need for mathematics teachers to employ various teaching methods in the classroom for effective knowledge transfer has been re-echoed. Registrar National Mathematical Center Dr. Bernard Azuka was speaking at a training workshop on mental arithmetic for teachers of basic education in Enugu. Okechukwu Agubama's report is here presented.
The registrar emphasized that the training is to make students become accustomed to using their brains in calculation instead of relying on calculators. The mental arithmetic training for teachers centered on the need to empower and equip them on oral mental arithmetic and to reorient them on the domains of learning, which are affective, cognitive, and psychomotor.
The idea is to train teachers so that when the teachers are well prepared, they can go to the classroom and impart this on the children. But the bottom line is the improvement of the teaching and learning of mathematics.
The chairman, Enugu State Universal Basic Education Board, who was represented, and the chairman, Post Primary Schools Management Board, commended the initiative of the organizers, stressing that the training is apt, coming at a time when smart schools are becoming the order of the day in Enugu State.
Because I'm sure we're going to come up with a plan for Cascade for them, so that other teachers in the school that are not opportune to be here will have the opportunity to learn that for the benefit of our pupils and our students in the field.
On your part, one of the things you must learn, I'm sure, you must learn from this, is doing things differently. Just a little effort, a little emphasis on an existing truth gives it a bigger picture.
The participants were trained on how to handle the abacus effectively in carrying out additions and subtractions. They expressed joy over the opportunity, hoping it would be a regular exercise. They appealed that the abacus system be made available to students and teachers for effective learning. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
That's a contribution from Enugu. Let's now return to Ifoma in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide. Ifoma.
You're welcome back. President Bola Tinubu has joined family, friends, and well-wishers to congratulate the Vice President's wife, Nana Shettima, as she marks her birthday. The President commends Nana Shettima for her efforts in promoting government initiatives and for being a fountain of support for the administration. The President prays for many more years filled with joy, peace, and happiness. Meanwhile, President Tinubu has received former Senate President Anyim Pius Anyim, who recently joined the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. The former Senate President was led to the State House by Governors Hope Uzodinma of Imo State and Francis Nwufuru of Ebonyi State. President Tinubu warmly received the Pius Anyim, who led the Senate from year 2000 to 2003, and later served as Secretary to the Government of the Federation of Nigeria 2011 to 2015 under the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Senator Anyim says he decided to join the APC in national interests.
With determination to be sure that the country moves on the right path. And I should be available to contribute my quota. The country is passing through turbulent times, and it is the duty of every patriot, if you have nothing to add, ensure that you contribute to the peaceful atmosphere that will engender progress in the country.
We've been able to do well according to our own understanding and based on our own best of judgment. And that is what is engineering a lot of them to join APC. Like what Mr. President has done in so many areas. Somebody like Pius is not a pushover. He's not somebody that you can say because of money joining APC, or that is hungry, or that is looking for a job like he said. So it's based on the disposition of Mr. President as a leader of the party in our great nation, Nigeria, and the disposition of the governor as a leader of the party in the state, and our own Governor General in Southeast, the leader of the Southeast Governors Forum, Senator Hope, and that is what that makes a lot of them to join APC.
We are excited about it as a zone. We are also excited about it as a nation, and the president, being the leader of the party, is also excited about it. He knows his pedigree, he knows his capacity, he knows that once he believes in a cause, he goes all out for it. So I think it's a very big plus, politically speaking, to our party, to the government of the country under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR. And also arising from there, we use the opportunity to commend and thank him for signing into law the Southeast Development Commission, which he just assented. If you recall, that bill has been there for the past, God knows. Attempts to pass that bill 3 times failed. Under his watch, he finally assented to the bill, which means listening to our cries.
The state of the nation and the protest being planned by a section of Nigerians, Governor Uzodinma advises those behind the idea to take the peaceful path by bringing their issues to the dialogue table.
I have no reason for the protest. I think our advice, we're meaning Nigerians, citizens of this country who are making sacrifices. Some of us have paid the supreme price for the existence of this country. We should guide our country very jealously. I think it is a wrong time for anybody to do any protest, because the implication of doing that, if care is not taken, is that it may be hijacked, like the NSAS experience, where criminals now hijacked and innocently conceived agitation by young Nigerians. So this is another kind of temptation that I think too, that those behind the protest, because they have not been able to come out openly to say they are behind it, there is something that is a motive that is yet to be unraveled. So I think that we are not in support of the protest. We are not going to support any protest that has no programs, that is not discussed, that nobody knows what the problems are. Okay, if you are protesting, what do you want government to do? Because the reason for protest is that they want an issue to be addressed. What are the issues? So in my view, I think there is no need to overheat the polity, overheat our environment, and put our people in a position that the hardship that is occasioned by economic recession all over the world is further worsened.
And that's it on Nationwide for today. We thank you for watching. I am Ifoma Ojinta. Bye for now.